Yo, what is up everybody? It's Peace-Eye. Welcome to another video. I just took Drytron to locals and I was able to get first place. So I'm gonna show you the new list and we're gonna get right into it. Hey, turn it off. Stop, turn it off. All right, so we've got 42 card Drytron. We main decked 3 Alpha and 3 Zeta. So this is just standard. Next up, I opted to play 2 Gamma, 2 Delta, and then the new card, New 2. So this locks you into ritual summoning only machines during the turn you summon it and use it either of its effects, but you don't always have to use that. I went the unconventional route and I was playing this basically as an extender if I couldn't go into my fairies, but I was still playing the fairies. So for the fairies, I played Cyber Angel Natasha, triple Ben 10, shout out to Emmanuel for the QCR. And then I also played the Herald of Perfection. This just insulates your plays, and it lets you play with only 1 name, and you don't have to play Diviner and waste extra deck space. Next up, I played the 2 big ones, the Meteonos Draconids, and then the Da Meteonos Draconids, and that was all the rituals. So for the rest of the fairies, we do have the Choju of the Trillion Hands. You can use this to make Beatrice by searching out your Herald of Perfection, and then Vanity's Ruler, MVP. This just stops your opponent from doing anything. Next up is hand traps. We played 3 hand traps, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, Droll and Lockbird, and Infinite Impermanence. So that's all the monsters and all the traps. So the rest is just spells.
Wow.
All right. So for the next portion, we've got consistency. So we've got 3 Pot of Prosperity. I definitely think this is correct. You can dig for your protection. But I'll go through the protection later. Just a really good consistency card. Next up, 1 for 1. So with the invention of our new 2, we can now play 1 for 1. All the other Drytron names say they can only be summoned by a Drytron card, but new 2 says that it can only be special summoned by a card effect. So we're allowed to play this now, so it's a really good boost to the deck. Next up, 1 Foolish Burial for consistency. You can send anything, and then, because you can ritual summon from grave or send another name. So this basically acts as another name. 2 Nova. I only own 2, but it's a hard one per turn, whatever. I mean, I don't care. And then next up, 2 Cyber Emergency. I was playing 3, but I did the math, and in the Hypergeometric Calculator, when you have 42 cards and you're running 19 names, and you draw 5 cards, you see them 75% of the time, but if you add the 3 Ben 10 in there, because Ben 10 and 1 name is also combo, that's like 85% or something, like, or maybe like, it's like 80 or 90% or something like that. So like it's really consistent. So I opted to cut down 1 Cyber Emergency to get it down to 42 cards. Next up, we have the ritual spells. So we do play the 1 Meteonos Drytron and the Dawn of the Herald to summon your perfection. This banish effect is insane. So you're triggering your Ben 10 engrave and you're banishing it to get your Ben 10 back. So you automatically have 2 fairies for your Herald of Perfection to protect the rest of your Drytron combo. Next up, the protection that I was talking about to search for. Prosperity can get you into your Called By or one of your 3 crossout designators. These are the 3 cards that give you the most trouble. I was playing Nib for a while, but I decided to opt out of Nib because you just can play through Nibs like so easily. So you don't need that anymore. Lots of times you're summoning Vanity's Ruler on your 5th summon anyway. Shout out to my final round against Jesse. Next up, yeah, he had the Nib and everything. And then finally, Forbidden Droplet is just such a good card going 1st or 2nd, and you don't care if your Drytrons go to the graveyard because you can summon them from graveyard. So it's very, very good with this deck. All right, so that's the main deck, 42 cards. I tried to cut it down to 40, but I couldn't find the other 2 cards. Let me know in the comment section what you think I should cut. All right, next up, extra deck. So, 2 Mubeta Fafnir. This card is so amazing. People really sleep on the Spell and Trap Negation because usually they use all of its materials and then get rid of it. But if you control a machine ritual monster, you can detach a material to negate a Spell and Trap. So very powerful to protect your Vanity's Ruler.
That's crazy.
Next up, if you get shifted or drolled, you go into Kiki Nagashi Fucho and you pray they don't set up a board that you can't break. Next up, Downward to slap on top of either of these guys. And then Zeus. Woo! Shout out to OTS 18. Good times, good times. And then final XYZ monster is Beatrice. This will probably get banned, but I've shown the combo on the channel before. 1 name plus Ben 10 is full combo because of Beatrice. So yeah, you kind of have to play this, especially if you're not playing Diviner. Next up, Links. So rest in peace, Link Karibo. So Relinquish Anima, just for making sure you can get your guys in graveyard. And I was able to bait a Fiendish Chain when I was trying to steal my opponent's Hot Red Dragon. So shout out to Max for that. Next up, Cross Sheep. So this has really broken effects, really great interaction with Natasha. Since Natasha special summons itself and you steal your opponent's monster, you can get multiple effects on this. But the ritual effect is to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And then sometimes you can use the fusion or synchro or XYZ effect, depending on what you steal from your opponent. And then you just climb up into your Link 4s, which is really nice. Next up, the Dynamondo. This spins on summon by shuffling back one of your ritual monsters. And then you can actually summon a ritual monster from your graveyard during your opponent's turn, which is nice.
Wow.
IP Masquerena and SP. So shout out to Team Bad Cards for the SP. Thank you guys so much. This card's broken. Next up, the Link 4s, we got Apolos, Abode the Goddess, and Boros Sword Dragon. People do not see this coming. You link up with your Cross Sheep, and then you just literally kill them. And then finally, we have Moon of the Closed Heaven, and whoa, jump scare! We have Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Yeah, I still haven't yet to resolve this. All right, so that's the extra deck. Really nice, really solid. Finally, the side deck, crazy all day. I did not see Rosphere mode at all, unfortunate. I searched Delancia and it helped me not get FTK'd by Gimmick Puppet, which is great. Because this is a light fairy, you can search off Ben 10. I used to main deck this along with the Herald of Orange Light, but now we're not concentrating as much on fairies and then FTKing our opponent with the Chaos Black Magician and Max. So I decided to put the Delancia in the side deck. Speaking of fairies, I honestly just put these in because they're ultimate rare and I just wanted to have them there. But sometimes they go in against certain matchups where they activate monster effects on field and you want to just special summon it and just tribute over them. This actually doesn't conflict with the Drytron monsters, since when you activate any of their effects, you can't special summon monsters that can be normal summoned or set that turn. So this gets around that, and it's a level 1 body that you can overlay with. Next up, the 1 Thrust that I own, which is really cool. Talents and Harpy's Feather Duster. I opted to not play the Twin Twisters or the Cosmic Cyclones anymore. So now I've got Evenly Matched. This card's amazingly crazy, especially with Forbidden Droplet. You evenly them, they try to negate it, and then you droplet it away. It's so funny. Wow. And then this wouldn't be a P-side deck without Floodgates. We got Goes and Match and triple Skill Drain. So the thing with this is every single monster in your main deck is light, basically. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure every single one that's not hand traps are light. So these are the 2 non-light monsters in your main deck. A bunch of your extra deck is also light, and this just really stops a lot of really good decks. And then in addition to that, Skill Drain, you do not need to activate anything on field because all of your Drytron monsters activate in hand or graveyard, and so does Natasha. So you can literally steal your opponent's board under Skill Drain and then kill them with all of their own monsters. It's amazing. Hopefully you guys... Yes, I'm very evil, Eric. Shout out to the cameraman, Eric, for recording. Thank you so much. And shout out to TGS and Tinley. Shout out to Team Bad Cards. Subscribe for more.